One Piece chapter 1054. What a way to come back from a month-long break. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. So first of all, let's start off with Greenbow. Greenbow has been a character that has done a complete 180 shift from the first impression that we got of him. At first, people thought Greenbow for years and years was going to potentially be an ally to the Straw Hats, either right off the bat or towards the end of the series, like we expect Fujitora to be. But this man is nothing of what we expected. He's definitely not a citizen of Wano. This man is out for blood, and he has no problem in committing genocide if it means capturing Luffy. But right as Greenbow is about to go ham on the Scabbards, also we did get confirmation that he is a Logia type, so that is very interesting. I'm glad he's not a forest god, because honestly I dislike how people are trying to now make different characters of One Piece different gods just because Luffy is technically the sun god. I don't think there needs to be a, earth god or a rain god or I forgot which one was the other one. Please correct me. Or a forest god. I think it was. Like we get from that one scene in Skypiea. I don't think those are relevant because they haven't come up in the story like the sun god consistently has. But either ways, I'm glad it's not that. Without further ado, let's get into it. Greenbow was about to make his showcase, and to the detriment of some people, not gonna mention name, Brago Yamato just comes in out of nowhere and smacks this man clean in the head just with a Conqueror's Haki coded attack, and oh my goodness, it was so good. Obviously, Oda's does also use this to give credit to Greenbow because he just took a Conqueror's coded attack to the back of the head, and even though he did mention that it really hurt, he is unfazed by it. So I think that does credit him. However, it also credits Yamato that she did hit an admiral, and the admiral did not see Yamato coming, and she did hurt him. So I think that was very good. It's a good showcase. But then, to Greenbow's detriment, as Yamato is giving her speech about how much she hates what he's doing, Mononosuke comes in, tries to do a blast breath. I got hyped for like a millisecond, like I think we all did. And then nothing. I think that's hilarious, but also it does show character development. Because Mononosuke is both ready to jump into danger, and he's not hesitant like he was at first. He wasn't saying, oh, I can't do this, like with the flame clouds. Like, even though he couldn't do it, he was very confident about trying, which I like. But then Mononosuke just bites Greenbow and starts like pushing him back. Greenbow obviously isn't taking it, and Greenbow just wraps Yamato around his roots, which I do, to discredit Greenbow. Like, yes, he wasn't faced by it, but Greenbow just got pushed back by Mononosuke. Yes, he's a giant dragon, but at the end of the day, it's Mononosuke. So I think it slightly discredits the Admiral, or better said, not discredits. I think it's very realistic for me because I've never had the Admirals at like a massive Yonko level, but this isn't I don't have them close to Yonko level is what I mean. I do think they're above the commanders, but below the Yonko, because truth be told, people think that just because they're way stronger than the commanders, that means they're high diffing a Yonko on a 1v1. But the truth of the matter is there's a massive world apart between commanders and Yonko. We'll get to that later. There is something else that discredits Greenbow later in the chapter. But moving on, Yamato's about to jump in to help Mononosuke, and for whatever reason, Mononosuke just tells Yamato, no, do not come close. And then we get, the scene cuts away from that point, which is very interesting because then it leads to what is arguably one of the greatest scenes in One Piece history. And we have the red hair pirates pulling up on the shores of Wano. We have the crew completely excited about meeting Luffy again, but Shanks goes, and Shanks completely shuts it down, and he's like, oh, I don't plan on reuniting with Luffy, even though he's smiling looking at his poster. But Shanks makes this statement. You know, he asked Ben Beckman. He asked Ben Beckman, "Hey, do you think it's time?" And Beckman's like, "What you talking about?" And Shanks he just straight up casually says, "It's time to claim the One Piece." Now, this is massive. And when I say massive, I mean massive. Because if Shanks has had access to the One Piece but decided not to use it this whole time, that explains why the Gorosei are willing to meet with him. That explains why the world government is willing to stop a war. That explains why Kaido has this man in his top 5. That explains why Kaido did not go to Marineford because Shanks told him to stop. Shanks has had the access to the One Piece, probably. You know, it might be a bit more complicated than that, but this would explain so much. But the reason, now the question being, right, why is he pulling up on the Wano? And I'm on the strong belief that Shanks is about to claim Pluton for his own. I don't, either that or he is coming to get Oden's father, which I forgot his name, forgive me, and I'm in way too much of a hype right now to even try and look that up. But I think this is great because this finally, you know, people thought that Film Red was what Oda was referring to when he said a certain red-haired man is going to start making his move. But no, that's not it at all. He was talking about Shanks actually making a move. He is going for the One Piece. Now, this is so incredibly hype. But we'll move on because there's not much that we can say towards this. I will say, however, yes, it did look sinister in that last panel. So people, you know, Shanks' evil theory, you guys are going insane right now. I'm not in that boat, but I will say, I think what does help a little bit against it, despite that last sinister panel, is the crew's happy reaction to Luffy. And Shanks happily reminiscing about everything that he's gone through with Luffy. I think we've seen too much of Shanks internally to think that he's evil, right? Unless they genuinely care about Luffy, but they're hoping to make him evil too, which doesn't seem in character, doesn't seem even logical. Even if you're a villain, it just doesn't seem logical to think that Luffy would turn. Either ways, moving on, we get to the next scene, which is arguably just as hype. We get Akainu speaking with a new character who is the leader of criminal investigations in the world government, and they are talking about none less than the Reverie. And we finally get confirmation, like many people had suspected. It comes to no shock to anyone that Sabo is being framed, and I assume either framed, but I think it might be more complicated than that, for the death of Cobra. It is officially confirmed that Cobra is dead. Now, this is a massive thing, but we all saw this coming. Now, what are the implications of this? Well, the possible implications, I am of the belief that something that could have happened was Cobra might have been attacked and not successfully killed, but fatally wounded, or the sickness was getting the best of him, and for whatever reason, Cobra might have actually asked Sabo to kill him. So I don't think Sabo was necessarily brained. I don't think someone else did kill Cobra and then Sabo just, they shoved the blame up on him. I think there is a possibility, even though I do think that is a possibility, I think the more likely scenario is something happened where Cobra and or Vivi had to ask Sabo to dispose of Cobra, either to prevent the world government from getting information or getting what they want, or to put him out of his misery. And so Sabo did so and took Vivi with him to protect her. So that is the first thing that I want to mention on that. I don't have any substantial thing on that, but I think just framing Sabo is a little bit too obvious and anticlimactic for Oda. But at the same time, it could happen, and he can handle it well. So I have strong faith in that. Not much comment because I think most of us, anyone who's not like a super casual One Piece fan, probably saw this coming. What is intriguing, though, is the following part. where it is stated that they did succeed in saving Kuma, they did succeed on declaring war, and they did succeed on escaping when they had two admirals, Fujitora and Green Bull, to stop them. Sabo and a few good men, man. It's King of Lightning has to be rejoicing. Brago is going to be grasping at straws. But, you know, Brago the Ace, I love him. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. But I gotta say, Brago the Ace is definitely going to use an excuse what the head of the criminal investigation guy said, where it's like, oh, maybe they were held back because they were fighting in the Holy Land. But Akai knew better than anyone. He does clearly state, do not make up excuses for them. I think this comment right here is Oda addressing that the excuse that the fans are going to use is not a proper excuse. And I love it. I love it. I love it. The Sabo hype is way up the roof. That's another L for the Admirals. I think Oda is definitely drawing a clear line because two Yonkos together, we already saw what that looked like. And there's no way that Sabo and a few good men would have gotten away with that, no matter how cautious they were being about the surroundings. But they did do so with the Admirals. I think this is Oda clearly drawing a parallel between Big Mom and Kaido versus the 9 Red Scabbards, Luffy, and 4 other supernovas, you know, and 2 other captains that are now at 3 bill each in terms of the captains. I just think Oda's drawing a very clear parallel at what 2 Yonkos can do together versus what 2 Admiral can do together. And I think Sabo is definitely solidified as one of the top fighters in the verse. Anyone who's going to argue with me about this, I'm going to have, you know, I'm just going to shut you down. Unless Oda does something massive and drastic to prove otherwise, Sabo is definitely in the top 10 of the verse for me. Solidified. That's that. He's dubbed the Flame Emperor. This is insane. But then again, now we're also getting like the world. Now we're understanding what Green Bull said by the world outside is a mess. But the navies ain't no pushover. Akainu is saying doesn't matter if they attack at all fronts, we're going to attack at all fronts. This upcoming saga of One Piece, or not upcoming, we're in the final saga. This is gonna be hype, guys. This is going to be so hype, and I cannot wait for the next couple of years with you guys. You know, I've had this YouTube channel for a couple of months, and I'm only going to start seriously posting now, you know, because now I've managed to take off some free time from my studies. I've reduced my hours at work. So just to let you guys know, right, schedule is going to be Thursday's video every day at 8:30 a.m. except today, you know, because I wasn't able to record yesterday or the day before. So I will be doing a video Thursday 8:30 a.m. and I will be doing chapter reviews on Sundays consistently. If big news drops, I'm going to be covering that immediately. I still don't know what time the videos are going to be dropped on Sunday. They might also be dropped on Monday, but we'll see. Either Sunday night or Monday morning. Look out for those. Do subscribe to the video. Do subscribe to the channel, right? If you want to keep up watching, you know, One Piece content. I plan on doing discussion videos primarily, maybe a couple of analysis videos, maybe a couple of theory videos, but I think discussions is where the strong point is going to be at in this particular channel. And definitely in an upcoming series of videos I plan on having up is I'll be discussing One Piece agendas, the pros and the cons, and how One Piece agendas affects the community. We're talking about, you know, Admiral versus the Yonko. Is Shanks the strongest in the verse or not? You know, we're going to be talking about all of these, you know, controversial big opinions and how these things can affect the One Piece community. For example, everything that happened in Wano and what people wanted and what people didn't get and how to feel about it. These are the things that I plan on covering on this channel, staying up to date with relevant topics. I think I'm going to be covering One Piece. I think I'm going to be buying the volumes. I'm going to try and buy 1 or 2 One Piece volumes every paycheck, and then maybe review One Piece instead of by arcs or by chapter. but by manga volumes. See how that goes. Let me know if you guys are interested. But, you know, I just want to give you guys an idea at the end of the video of what this channel is going to be like. Do subscribe to the channel if you would like to support and get more content like this. Do drop a like if you like the video. Subscribe to my Patreon, and I'll catch you guys on Sunday. Take care.